So what's your current situation now? Are you still in school or?
Yeah, so Guelph isn't like those stupid schools like McMaster that says, "Oh, you can't do online classes." Yeah, you can't even enroll in online classes. What is that? I'm
I
sorry.
don't know.
What is that? They allow me to do online classes. So
Okay.
my prereqs are not my prereqs, so like things I have to get to graduate are completely mixed up. Like I had to do a statistics course. I was supposed to do a statistics course this semester, not offered online. A bunch of things weren't offered online. I had to change my entire timetable. I'm taking third year courses to make up for like that I'm gonna have to take second year courses next year, and it's a disaster. Like
Mhm.
I'm definitely now not gonna graduate in 4 years. I already feel like I wasn't going to, but it
Mhm.
just made it worse. Like, and I'm lucky in a sense that I could even do classes, um, because a lot of students, like I said, like certain schools don't even let you do online classes, and it's like even if you want to fight and fight the mandates, get involved, you're still getting you still need to like continue in school. Like your degree
Mhm.
doesn't stop necessarily. You're gonna drop out. Like so, it's really like beneficial to stay in school. I also like I really like didn't know what I would do with myself for 4 months.
Mhm.
So I switched to online classes. Um, but then the big thing that happened was I thought, I'm gonna live at school.
Mhm.
I'll maybe go home quite a bit because eh, vibes aren't good there
Yeah.
all the time. So I thought, but I can study on campus. Like they don't like stand at the doors and like check.
Mhm.
And no one will know. Like I'm again wear my mask, super compliant.
Yeah.
And I can just live my life and nobody will figure out. Then in January, the university announces that they are checking the Wi-Fi and the single sign-on, which is like when you log in to what's called CourseLink, like our platform
Yeah.
and our email. They're checking it for compliance. So anyone who logs in to single sign-on on campus,
That's
they
crazy.
it is so creepy.
That is such an invasion of privacy.
100%. Privacy's not a thing anymore.
No,
Privacy was canceled last year.
it really was. Wow. I've I've heard rumors about things like that going on, or when you use your student card to get into places that they like kind of can track that as well. But the Wi-Fi thing, that's crazy.
So they check for compliance with the mandate, and then if you're not in compliance, they say progressive measures will be taken. So what are progressive measures? So they had a town hall, and people asked them, like I know this. People asked them, like, what are progressive measures?
Mhm.
Don't answer. Don't answer. They
Really?
don't. They did not answer to the questions. They don't want to talk to you. They hide in their committee. They don't want
Wow.
you. That's why I emailed them back like when in December and like I made myself known. I told them what major I'm in and told them how it's been taking such a toll on my mental health. Like I wanted them to know.
Mhm.
Hi, like I said, they people do that. They distance themselves because people's truths that don't align with theirs are scary. People's stories are scary,
Mhm.
and a lot of the time people don't. They just want to hear what fits into their confirmation bias, um, and they don't want to question anything because if you have this belief for so long,
Mhm.
you're holding on to this belief about COVID and about the shots and about who's safe and who's not, and then you have someone in your face who's questioning you. That's terrifying. People don't want to question.
No, it scares people, and it doesn't allow them to accept that there's potentially other explanations for things, and other, maybe they are wrong. They don't want to accept that. They don't want to accept that there are things that contradict what they believe in or what the media is telling them to believe in. You can see it everywhere. It's happening all the time, and
For sure. It's honestly like that's why I call it like it's like psychological warfare at this point
it
because it's
really
like
is.
they really like hub at you. They just want to hear their curated version of the truth. They don't want
Hmm.
to hear your truth. They don't want to question themselves. They have their belief systems. Anything that contradicts that said belief system is scary.
Hmm.
They don't want to face it. They don't want to mess with that. So that's they were checking like back to what I was saying before,
Yeah.
checking the Wi-Fi for compliance. And so I'm thinking, oh my gosh, now I can't even study on campus. They're gonna find me. And around this time, I had started getting involved with CSON,
Hmm.
and I'd been to a few, gatherings and like events with CSON, and already there's this. I started to get to realize that there's this big non-compliance component to CSON. we don't want to comply with anything. We don't want to comply with mandates. We don't want to disclose any medical information, so that includes testing. And some people in CSUN, this was so nerve-wracking to me at the beginning, that people that just didn't wear masks.
Yeah.
Like that was something I had to get even wrap my own head around. Can you imagine, like, and now I'm here speaking on the podcast, but like at the beginning I was like, wow, like these people are so militant, and I was scared. Like I'm like, oh, but my story's like, I did comply. Are they gonna judge me? Like,
No.
I was so, no, of
The
course
whole
not.
point of this is that no one has the right to judge anyone for any personal decisions that they're making for themselves, and no one even has the right to ask and to know what those decisions are. That's so it's not about vaccinated, unvaccinated. It really, really isn't at all.
Yeah, because it's like at the end of the day, like, both vax and unvax people are getting and spreading COVID. Like it's happening.
Hmm.
I'm not here talking about science, but like, it's just it sucked. Like I was treated like I was the only person who was, and I was the only
Like
one
you're
who had to get
sick,
tested.
like you're
Like I'm sick,
diseased.
like I'm diseased, like
Hmm.
I'm a second class citizen.
Yeah.
And that was one thing that really appealed to me about CSUN is they're like, why should we have to disclose?
Hmm.
Why should we have to comply? I never thought about that because, of course, I was uncomfortable sending in doctor's letter, doctor's letter. I didn't know who had access to that information. For all I knew, my professors could see it.
Yeah.
I just tried blind faith that they couldn't, but I didn't know. Nobody told you. Nobody told me that this information. I think they said like this information's under this Privacy Act, but I didn't really know,
Yeah.
like,
The whole exemption process is very unorganized and for a lot of schools. So you don't know who's reading these emails. You don't know where this information is going.
for sure. And if you look at like the committees, it's not. I don't want to say like I think it's different for every school, but like it's not always like medical doctors on the committees. It's like different like people from like different
Hmm.
um organizations on
Who's to
campus.
say that your reason for not getting vaccinated is not valid?
Yeah.
Like who's to say, like, how can anyone feel entitled that they can make that decision for you?
And it's not like they like spoke to me. Like it's
Hmm.
not like they like the university like said like, hey, like, we know you got sick. Like the email they sent me, the when they denied me, they were like, okay, we denied you. Upload your proof of vaccination immediately. It's like, I just told you I got
So
sick.
insensitive to your situation.
They should include like the we're here for you mental health
Oh
hotlines on all
yeah.
their emails because they're so distressing. Like they're honestly so distressing. But they don't care because it's hidden. And even while I was a student, like I complied with, all my testing or whatever, but they would send these occasional emails to, I guess, any of the students who had an exemption that would be like, we know that some of you aren't sending in your tests. You need to send them in because we are watching and we know. So, you're going to get in trouble. So you need to send in your tests. Like,
Wow.
this is those threatening emails. Half the time they don't even address you by name, which is almost worse because you just feel so alienated.
Hmm.
And the culture around me, people just accepted. Like they knew that people were being deregistered from classes, I think, to an extent. They knew that people weren't getting, weren't being accommodated, and they were okay with that. They were okay with people not being allowed to attend school.
Hmm.
They were happy because they were accommodated. They got the shot. They felt great. They felt safe. They needed everyone around them to be safe, and they didn't care. But, like I said, people limit themselves because they're so scared to like let go of that. And puts people like me in such a position. Um, yeah, and so the university was like, so I actually like went on campus, or I don't think I went on campus. I like lived pretty close to campus, and I was getting like groceries,
Hmm.
so my phone must have like connected to the Wi-Fi.
Really?
A few days later, I got an email that said, "We know, we know you were on campus. This is a few weeks ago.
Wow.
If you come back to campus, we might issue a notice of trespass against you." A
That
notice
is
of
insane.
trespass on my own campus. I was safe last semester,
Yeah.
fully safe. They were like, cool, you can be here. And now all of a
But
sudden, I am a non
nothing
compliant
has
student.
changed. Nothing has changed. The situation hasn't changed. The only thing that's changed is they said you're not allowed to be here anymore.
Their decision and their policies changed. My medical situation didn't change. It's
No.
still persisting. It's been months. I'm still sick. Like, and in my personal like journey with that, I've now been seeing specialists and stuff, but like, to the university's knowledge, I'm still sick. I told them I'm still sick. I still don't have a diagnosis. I am still reacting. they know that their policies changed.
Mhm.
You know, my theory is they want less exempt students at their school because it makes them look bad. You
Mhm.
know, if their number's a bit high or whatever. Or maybe they just do this for fun. I don't know. It's the worst.